said so. The World Health Organization said so. I want to remind you. Some years ago, you were told there were only 9 planets. Now they tell you that was a mistake. There are more than 50 of them. And no one said, why didn't they tell us the truth? They said, well, that's what we found. Which means that whatever they have told you is not absolute. Only the Word of God is absolute. As long as it is not the Word of God, it is not an absolute. It is therefore wrong to compel everybody to follow the findings of questionable individuals. It is wrong. And I say this to you. These are simple things. These are simple truths. If you cannot ask the right question, then you open yourself to destruction. Ask yourself, what is the evidence that wearing of mask works? They told you so. I've done an enormous research on it. Question, have you? Don't just listen because somebody said so, or the WHO said so. I disagree with the WHO. For clear reasons. They have made too many mistakes. And they don't apologize. They just change their minds. And they expect us to just follow. Remember, they didn't drop from heaven into WHO. We can ask them questions. They are not gods. Even God accepts questions. And he answers. Why can't we ask these ones? And I say to government leaders, don't be afraid. Ask questions. Don't be afraid of being isolated in the committee of nations. Don't be afraid of them. And I want to tell you, the nations that terrorize other nations the most are empty. They have nothing. They have nothing. There's nothing in them. There's nothing in them. So why are you afraid of them? Why are you afraid of them? And right now, because of certain agreements that have been entered into, I want to remind you, if your predecessors made mistakes with the agreements, go back to your people and say to your people, these are the agreements signed by our predecessors in office. And we want them changed because you sold out your country. It's time to reclaim your country. And I'm telling you, what you're experiencing around the world is called state capture. Nations, whole nations have been captured by few individuals. Now, it doesn't matter what your ideology is. I'm only asking you to ask the right questions. So I'm not on any side of the divide, the political divide. I'm not discussing politics. I'm discussing truth. Truth. If you have the evidence, provide it. If you have the scientific evidence that lockdown works, provide it. In fact, you don't even have to go very far. So far, the nations that have been most compliant have had their numbers skyrocketing as to the infection because the numbers are a fraud. They're not true. I have sent people in different parts of the world to go to the hospitals that we were told were full. In many of the hospitals, they found very few or no sick people. The patients were gone. A lot of the hospital wards were empty. And I have videos to provide you.